how about we do a skit? We'll bring a cake.
For the last time, Rene, we're not gonna do cake on cake.
Come on! Why not? It would sell!
Yeah, but my dignity.
My dignity.
Wait, dude, I got an idea.
You have an idea?
Tell me the first thing you think of.
Cake!
For the last time, Rene, we're not doing cake on cake.
Fine. Okay. I see red. I see a hat. I see a megaphone.
What is it? What do you see?
I see nothing. Because this is ridiculous, Bryan.
Well, that's because you didn't try hard enough.
Not a resort to that.
Dude, you're good. How did you know that Sarah was going to come out in full cosplay?
She was gonna give me full cosplay. Bitch!
Oh, are you thinking of things for the skit? Let me try. I see a gas mask, a clown costume, a threat. He's a dude, and he looks sinister, and he's coming. I guess I was wrong.
Boo.
Oh my god!
Crowbar. No, Rene. We don't do that to people. That's why we do it to Bryan. Vic! Hey, buddy! Good costume! Swear to God, Rene, when we get home, no KY. Oh.
Guys, I did it! I defeated the spooky night. Did I do good?
Should we tell her?
No. But he's good. No, he's not. What next?
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics, Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 171. My name is Sarah Heck.
Rene.
This is Bryan.
And we're gonna do a podcast.
What a way to open the show.
She gave it the good college try.
It wasn't on the script.
No. You know what? That's perfect.
What we call that.
It wouldn't be a Keeping Up with the Nerds podcast if the intro wasn't messed up every couple of issues. It's
That's
fine.
true, yeah.
It's totally fine. Nick forgets the numbers. Renee,
I don't forget. I just do it on purpose.
no, you don't.
That's my
Every
story,
single
I'm sticking
issue,
to
you're
it.
just like 153, 54. My bad.
It's a solid bit. Yeah. The
What do you
audience
do?
knows.
I don't know. I'm always on point.
I'm just
No,
perfect,
he
you know?
messes up the the address sometimes.
No, you guys call me out on the address
I don't know.
because I say 12920,
Yeah, you
and you
say
guys
it
are the
weird.
apparently the
I
yeah.
go 12920.
That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California.
Yeah.
Welcome
Right.
back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Another issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds. Yes, we did an intro this time because, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are on the audio platform, it's a shame because you won't get to see her. But Miss Sarah Heck here in the house in full Moxie cosplay.
Yay.
Welcome back to the show, Sarah.
I'm loving the Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, and then
Wonder Woman.
Renee and Nick are.
I'm Wonder Man.
Don't
where's
assume.
Where's your cosplay, Brian?
I actually didn't want to put it on because
What
Andy and I are working together on it.
What are you gonna be?
Do I want to spoil it or should
Well,
I just?
it's gonna be.
It's gonna be
out
after.
after. This is gonna be up
Halloween.
after Halloween.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll talk about it. We were trying to do originally Belle and Gaston, but it was too complicated to do.
Was she Gaston and you were Belle?
Yeah,
No.
right, dude.
Please.
Well, that would have been.
That
sick,
would have been pretty
though.
sick, though.
Yeah.
You know what? That would have been a good one. No, we decided to do Tom Nook and Isabel.
What?
Tom Nook and Isabel from Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what that
you should be
is.
stabbed in the throat
for what?
because I hate Tom Nook.
Oh, I hate him too.
That greedy bastard.
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome to this place. I gave you a house. Now suffer under my mortgage payment.
Sounds about right.
No, so
Sounds about life.
have you ever?
Cool. Now you owe me 2 million bells.
Did
How
you-
do you feel like paying?
Did you play the first one, the first Animal Crossing?
Huh?
Did you play over
I played the most recent one.
Okay, so not the first one.
No, I played
New
the one.
Horizons, baby.
New Horizons is good. I think I
New
might get
Horizons
back
is
into
good.
it because I didn't know they added the owl dude again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Brewster. I love that dude.
Yeah,
No, but we're dressing up as Tom Nook and Isabel from Animal
It's
Crossing.
Blathers, you fake fan.
Is it Blathers?
It's Blathers.
Oh, Brewster is
Damn
Wait, no,
right.
you're talking about
Damn.
the coffee guy.
Yes.
There's two owl guys. There's the museum
no,
guy,
Blathers
and
is-
then there's
yeah.
the. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's Brewster. Oh my god, I'm the fake fan.
It's
Never
Animal
mind.
Crossing. What?
You had me second guessing. I'm like, no, it's Brewster. I know
Listen,
we've chilled.
All I know
in
is
New
that
Leaf.
I needed a game to play during COVID.
And Animal
And
Crossing
Animal
was
Crossing
it.
came out.
Yeah.
I will say, when on Halloween night, I do because I also bought a bag of that looks like bells. I
Mhm.
plan on filling it up with candy and then putting little bell coins on there
I
and then
remember
handing
when
them out.
Animal Crossing was there, and then what I would do is I would then get like the little mushrooms. Was it the mushroom? Was it mushrooms or what is it?
What are you talking about?
No, the turnips.
Yeah.
I'd get turnips, but I would go to my friend's world, and he had like his own little area for me. So I would go to his world and I would drop off all my turnips there, and then I would then go back to mine and then mess with like the dates.
Oh yeah, because
So that way
Oh,
I
so they
didn't.
didn't spoil.
That way they didn't spoil, so that way I could
Nice.
just keep on doing it. And then once I had a good day, where like it was like I think it was like 200 bells, I would then go back and then tell my buddy who I was with, "Come with me," and then we would go.
no, you know
and
what?
sell
You're
our
saying no
bells.
to Animal Crossing,
Yeah,
but it's
I
so
am.
funny because like people that play it
Mhm.
really love it,
You get into
Yeah.
it.
but they get into it, but they like
while.
I
really
people
hate.
that love things.
It's fair.
Says the
Yeah.
Batman lover,
Well, that's
fair.
different.
Goosebumps guy over here,
Yeah, it's different.
right?
It's
Yeah.
different.
No,
It's
but
different.
the creator of Animal Crossing
I get
original.
goosebumps every time. Yeah.
It's a good series. No, the original creator of Animal Crossing said that he created the game to help kids learn how to save money.
That's not how that
No.
works.
my niece plays that. Doesn't know.
It doesn't work. It worked for me.
She was selling chocolate.
I'm still terrible at
She
it,
was
but I
selling
can do it.
chocolate. You guys bought some chocolate bars. She didn't know how to manage that money at
Are you
all.
serious?
My
Did she-
sister did all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. Does she play Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Oh. When you say it like that, yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I still think Stardew Valley is the better Animal Crossing.
Oh,
I will
OG
fight
Harvest
you.
Moons.
Bring it on!
OG Harvest Moons. No, actually, Harvest Moons got me addicted to gambling. Because of
I-
the little tree elves.
I can get a wife in Stardew Valley.
So can you in Harvest Moons?
I can't get it in Animal Crossing.
Oh, well, I mean, that's bestiality.
How is? They're all beasts,
You're not. You're a human.
but I'm playing a beast.
No, you're playing a human
You're
being.
a villager.
Yeah, you're a villager who's a human.
Oh,
In-
well, it doesn't matter.
What?
In their world, it's not bad.
In Baldur's Gate.
In
Oh
Baldur's
my
Gate.
god!
Baldur's Gate, it's fine.
And Baldur's Gate,
I
you
have
can
a bear.
F-word everything.
Every bear.
I thought it was funny when somebody was like, "Oh, the fact that everybody's horny in this game is unrealistic," and I was like, "No, it's not."
No, the
Totally true.
D&D players
It's not
are
horny
like the
enough.
band kids of the nerd
I-
community because they're all horny. as
No, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too because somebody actually, a psychiatrist actually like went through it, and he was like, "No, they're in a life or death situation, and it accesses and goes as euphoric. So they all get closer. So obviously, yeah, they're all very attractive people. Why wouldn't they all start having
Except
sex?
you can't F word. What is it? Trolls
The
or goblins?
Yeah, which is bull.
The thick goblins.
I want my goblins, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I want the goblin these
Goblins.
nuts.
Goblins.
So I had a
I'm
guy
sure-
come
I'm sure
in.
you could do
A guy come in and
was a mod.
It was like a dad of sorts. He comes in.
Oh, God.
And, he was like, "This is probably going to be like the most boring game of all time. But do they have like a tabletop D&D style game that's just life? You just roll the dice."
Yeah, it's
and
called
just a bunch
Sims.
I said. He goes, and I looked at him. He's explaining it. He goes like, "Yeah, you're right. That is really boring." But I think, but I think they have a thing like that. I think it's a board game called Life.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm like,
You have a story to tell us, right?
I do. Yes.
Excellent. All right. So before we get into the stories and then we get into
Yeah, you were like about to start, and then he went like,
no, well, because I got to do formalities, dude.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. All of a sudden, we forget the formalities. You're the one that said it last week. Go check out keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials as well: Instagram, Facebook, X, and check out our YouTube channel, Keeping Up with the Nerds. That way, you guys can see the video format of this podcast. Because look, guys, we've got Rene in Wonder Man costume,
Don't assume his gender.
Nick in his everyday work costume, and then
You think I go and deal with
says
kids
the
like
dude
this?
that puts sticky
Sticky
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fitting. Well, I mean,
Dude, was I wrong?
It's a little
It's,
tight.
no, it's a
but-
little. It's a little.
You're gonna look at me, tell me that I'm wrong. The Wicked Witch of the East, bro.
I did think it was
My
funny
spirit animal.
because today I did put little mini speakers in the same guy's office, and I was playing horror noises all
Oh,
day.
this
Oh my
look at you.
God.
And
You
I
know
was-
what? I'm
and
less
they were
phased.
hidden all over the place. So and I kept changing them. So it was funny because when both of them were going off, you couldn't tell where in the room they were.
I am less phased him saying this story dressed as this. And Sarah Heck in a full cosplay for the third year in a row,
Mhm.
right? Because you
the
were.
first year I was just normal me.
Were you?
Yeah.
And then
That's
last year
right.
I was half Jinx, and this year I'm full.
Moxie.
So it took 3 years of evolutions, baby.
So what happens in the fourth? Do you become fourth dimensional?
I just turned into Pikachu.
Well, yeah, because
I'm like,
become
"Ah!"
she already went full Moxie.
That's
So
true.
it's just full,
That's
play
it.
on words.
I just show up as a 3D like Pikachu.
But you guys can see this if you guys go check out our YouTube channel.
It's a
Go
stick
check it out,
figure.
guys. And then if you guys are not,
Under the desk the whole time.
She's with us.
don't be a joker. If you guys are on the drive doing something important that you guys should be paying full attention to, go check out our podcast channels as well.
Did you just call me out?
Yes, every
He was
single
trying to
week.
do a double entendre.
Look, dude, you ever seen
Is that
those?
how those go?
You ever seen? No, no.
That's not how that works.
No, have you ever seen those warnings that say like, would you print a car? Or would you whatever? Like, don't pirate stuff, or like, don't drink and drive. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm telling the kiddos, don't drive and watch movies.
That's
You
right.
wouldn't download a car.
That's right.
Wouldn't.
Don't be cool. That's right. Because you know who do that? Cool people.
I dare you, dude.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you're not awesome.
I'm sorry you can't multitask.
I
Yeah.
remember when I was lame.
Right now
Yeah,
it's so
cool.
fitting. Go get Nick a pair of scissors and we'll have him just cut his entire like lip up so we get the full smile, dude.
Lipstick is
So he
hard.
finally finds.
Do you
have
out.
lipstick on?
Yeah.
That's weird, dude.
Why?
Because it doesn't look red. It just looks like it looks like you have like someone put like what's it called, like a
Give me some sugar.
no
Like
no.
you were eating a lot of tahini.
There it is.
I was eating a lot
Oh
of
no, he was doing that lip cup challenge.
It looks like you made out with
And then it makes your lips
what is it
full
called,
and
a
red.
grapefruit.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's because I have a beard. I was like, it came with like a tattoo where you're supposed to put it on your face and it gives you scars and stuff like that. And I was gonna do like the whole like,
You didn't
thing.
sell.
but also I would have to cut my beard, and I'm not doing that again.
We did that last year.
We did that
I
last
did-
year
I
for
did that
when he
last
cosplayed
year.
me.
Yeah.
I did that last year, and I did not get rave reviews.
That
Apparently, you cannot have a mustache and work with kids. Apparently, that's against the rules,
Right?
and everybody looks at you weird.
Does that remind me of The Office with what is it? Was it the guy from HR
Uh-huh.
when he grows his mustache out for prostate cancer?
Oh.
He goes up to a mother and a cut child.
That's right.
He goes like, "Smile if you're for men's prostate awareness." I was like, "Oh my god."
Dude, we can do an office run.
Toby.
Yeah,
That's
Toby.
it.
can't-
You got a story to tell us.
Yes. Really quick story. This happened. I was going to mention it last week, but we had the Ouchcast. That's why. This happened to me a couple weeks ago. I had a family come in. It was a mom, a son, and then apparently it was the son's like cousin or something. So it was two kids under 10 years old come in, and then one kid was like, "So what do you have?" I'm like, "What do you want?" And he's all like, "Well, I'm looking for Spider-Man and stuff." I'm like, "Okay, well, I have Spider-Man here, I have Spider-Man there, and stuff like that." He was looking for like the compendiums. He wanted the big $100 books, and his mom's like, "No, we're not getting that." He goes, "All right." And then I showed him like the single issues that had like really cool covers of Spider-Man. He's all like, He goes, "How much are these?" I'm like, "These are like $3.99." And he's all like, "I don't know." And then I'm like, this kid wants his mom to shell out $100.
How old is this kid?
This kid's like probably 8 or 10 years old.
That's
at
why.
most. Yeah.
Fortnite kid.
So then, basically, that's the vibes I was getting. And so then, like,
Those
he
are-
comes
those
up.
are
He,
funny videos though.
he
So-
comes
They are
up.
funny.
He comes up to the counter. He's like, "My mom's making me get these like less expensive books," and I'm like, first of all, you're lucky your mom's buying you anything.
You're,
Yeah.
you should have thrown out the. You're lucky your mom's alive.
No, so that's the thing. So I did kind of do that. I go, when my mom was around, I do that. And so then he's like, I'm like, my mom said next time, maybe next time. And we never came back next time. Next time never came because she died. And so then he's like sitting there like, "Oh, that's what," and so then he goes, "That's what she does. She does the same thing too." And then the mom's like, "I don't think that's what he meant." So,
You're kind of missing the point.
So the kid missed the whole point. He thinks I'm on his side. And I'm like,
He's
I'm
like,
not,
"Yeah,
man."
you dumb.
Right?
Yeah, you
You should have
idiot."
just looked him dead in the eye and been like, "Dude, my
Yeah.
mom's dead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
idiot."
Your mom's not going to be
And then
around
you
for
should have
long.
done the
Yeah.
floss.
Yeah.
Do one of these. Hit him
Yeah.
with a dab afterwards.
And then
Hey, yo,
that's when
my mom's dead.
But no, so then the mom's like, he's like, "She does it all the time. Like, we never go back to where things that I want and stuff." She goes, "Well, if it's that bad on you, you can tell it to your therapist then next week." And I'm like, "What the heck?" I was like,
That's what the mom said?
The mom joined me on trying to rip her own kid and stuff like that. I
tell
was
your
like-
therapist.
I was like, "All right, point one for mom." I was like, she was cool. I was like, "That was."
Was the
dope.
mom younger or no?
I think she was in her like early 40s, late 30s.
So she was on the younger side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of why.
Yeah.
Because technically, that's still millennial.
Yeah.
If you're in your 40s now, you're millennial-ish.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? Oh my god, dude. I-
Never mind.
I mean, I'll.
reality hit her.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
In her head, she just went, "Oh God, oh shoot."
Yeah,
I'm 30.
literally.
All right. Well, Sarah, you're on the show,
Mhm.
and per usual, we want to know what's new with you. What's new in the world of Sarah? What have you been up to?
That.
This.
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Just like
T-pose.
scan.
I started painting Moxie's bar in my art room back in, I think, April.
Mhm.
I finished it like a month and a half ago.
Mhm.
And this is the product of the last month and a half of my life. And I'm a crazy person now because I am putting too much on my plate. But here we are, baby.
So it's always interesting because I feel like people miss out by not following your Instagram because you journey. What do I feel? No. Let's be real. Like, there's a lot of cosplayers and artists that
Yeah.
when they like post their stuff on their Instagram, they
Mhm.
kind of really only post the beginning, the middle, and then the end products of what they're working on, right?
Mhm.
But you seem to be posting basically a couple days of what you're doing, and then we get a like workout montage of everything that you've been doing up to the middle point, and then another couple more days and another montage, and then the end result.
I was gonna say maybe like a little mental breakdown that you get. You're like, ah!
I feel like you should record the mental breakdown.
I
feel like that's a new-
Yeah.
It would be traumatic for everyone involved.
Do you know that
Mhm.
you'd get a different audience?
You're not wrong. Totally relatable.
Very relatable.
Very relatable.
I like to show my progress because I think it's important where like instead of being silent or pretending that like making this stuff is so easy and like, oh, here's this thing I made. It's like, no, like I stress out, I freak out. This wig I could talk about for a while because I literally almost had a panic attack and I had to shut that down, and it's now 3 wigs.
What?
That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Were you not paying
Yeah.
attention?
No, I was writing
It's-
comic strips for the show.
I was
It's-
doing my job.
Yeah. Jesus.
I think it's important, like every time I come on here I talk about how like I'm a big proponent of like you don't need to spend a lot of money on cosplay, you don't need to like know everything about cosplay to do it. You can just like have materials. A lot of this I had already, some of it I picked up, but I customized all of it myself, and for under $100 I think I made this whole thing.
Under 100.
Under
That's pretty
$100.
Did you
Good,
make the
wow.
corset or did you
I
put the
made
corset?
everything from scratch.
So
Everything you see except these gloves and like the fishnets, because I don't know how to do that.
So
but the corset was, I'm assuming, just a bra, and then you added
It,
like
it was
kinda
it was
slim?
pieces of fabric that I built to
Oh,
be this. So
Okay.
I build everything myself except like this stuff.
okay.
But also I got these for cheap on like Amazon, and literally I think my whole thing was less than $100, and it's just found material. That's my biggest proponent, is you don't have to be rich to cosplay. You just need to have the sheer will and blood, sweat, and tears. So that's why I post the progress instead of like, here, this is this thing I made. Believe me, it didn't take a toll on my soul. But screw that, it did. And here
So
we are.
I feel like the pieces from what I've been following that you've documented the most on your Instagram were the megaphone that you have
Yeah.
hidden away in the corner. You basically showed the beginning process of it, basically the cone, and then this part up here, and the hat that you're wearing up at the top.
Yeah.
Because you started showing off how the basic outline of it, which is what, styrofoam and cardboard or something like that you were posting.
I would take the hat off, but it's too hard.
No,
but,
don't.
Don't,
It's in the inside. You can see it's
Do
just cardboard. This is all just Amazon boxes of cardboard that I had, spare foam that I had, craft paint that I had, hot glue, and like John Wick, just sheer will. That's it.
Yeah. But it's insane because you, like Nick was saying, you literally start off with a kind of scrap part, just pile of stuff, and the end result is this.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why it's important for me to document it too, because it's like, I like, for an example, I didn't have time to finish this thing, so I bought this fake orange gun on Amazon, and then I customized it, and that's a very rare thing for me to do, but it's because I am working on some other stuff for Halloween right now. I knew I wouldn't have time to build the exact gun from scratch, so I just paid $12 and just made this happen. But that's like one of the first times I've actually ever done that. I usually don't do that. I usually build everything from scratch myself or found materials, but like it's not okay to do this too, because for the little side prop that it is right here is totally fine, and it's not fine to do that. It's just I like to be you don't have to spend any money. You can make stuff out of Amazon boxes, which is a majority of this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So out of this entire piece that you are
Could I
presenting,
look at that actually?
what is your favorite aspect of it?
Oh, the hat and the holster. The holster was also a labor of love. There's still hot glue on it. That's so funny. This is just foam core and kids craft foam. This, because I did Moxie from Borderlands, it was really fun to do something where I got to outline everything in black, which I've never done before. Like Jinx was kind of similar, but like not, where she was still a little more realistic, where
What is that called again? Cell shaded?
cell shaded, like vector, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the cell shading on this was super fun because it was very otherworldly, and my husband, because we both got married.
that's
Not-
that's
right.
That's
Yeah.
a, I think that's a new
that's
change
a life
from last year.
update.
I forgot.
Got married.
Yeah. I was like, when was
Yeah.
this?
I was wondering when I don't know if you wanted to mention it. That's
Oh
why
yeah,
I
of
was
course.
like, okay.
No, Brian,
Mhm.
in case you didn't know, got married in January, and I got married in March. So now we're all married. But
Well, this half of the table.
yeah. But my husband John,
We haven't announced.
I'm
it yet.
officially. I can officiate this wedding right now if you guys want.
he officiated my wedding. That's another thing.
I feel like that's a trick. I feel like one day he's gonna just go like, "Oh, Nick, do you?" And I go, "I'm gonna be like half asleep and go, yeah, I do."
Oh, you could do that.
Technically, no, because no.
You have it has to. You have to.
There
have
has to be a
written-
wedding and there or a witness, and there has to be paperwork.
I think
But-
me
You
and
can
Mandy.
make that happen.
I think me and
not
Mandy
that
have
hard.
talked about it, and I think we want you to officiate it.
Who?
When me and Mandy get married.
Me,
Yes.
dude.
He
Okay,
knocked it out of the park.
so okay. Look,
It was so good.
It's not that I don't appreciate the compliments. I do. But when you and John constantly go like, "Oh, you know, you knocked it out of the park," I told
You
Andy this.
did.
I told Andy this. It's like the bar is set so high that I feel like at any moment it'll just fall off.
But do you know why you knocked it out of the park? Because you were just genuinely you, and that's why it was good.
Mhm.
So shut up.
No, I'd be happy to do it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the thing is when I was talking about it, I wouldn't officiate weddings if it weren't for best friends. And
Yeah.
when you guys asked, it was like, yes,
Yeah.
without a doubt, without a
I
doubt.
think the only way this would be cooler is if it worked.
I
Right?
thought
If it
about
actually
buying
worked.
a little speakerphone. I didn't have time.
That's fine.
Well,
I didn't have
'cause-
time to wait for the
Yeah.
Amazon package to come.
No, yeah, because the only thing I can think of is like if
For
you
you
would
to even
actually
have
get,
an
like, the-
idea to put that in is amazing on its own, honestly.
For Jinx, I wanted it to
Mhm.
move,
Oh, I
and
heard
I
that.
was gonna do a whole contraption. I
Yeah.
just didn't have time.
You know what's
Mhm.
funny though? I actually because I was looking it up for work. There's an actual STEM there's like a STEM class that they sell. It's like a little tiny box. It's like maybe like a circuit board like that big, and essentially there's a mic here and there's a mini speaker
Oh,
that
cute.
attaches to it. But when we tried it out with the kids, it's a really loud speaker and it's super small. So instead of you using an actual jumbo one, you could technically just use that. And because it was only like $20.
I need to get my hands on that. I could
It's a-
just put it in there.
Yeah, no, because that
That's
way you
what
can
she
just
said.
put you can well because you can hot glue.
Solid.
You can then cut the middle and then put the circuit board in there and then just kind of core it out and then just glue the actual speaker the mic to the top and
It's
then
not bad.
forward it through, and it wouldn't be as loud as an actual megaphone,
But it would work.
but it'd work and it would amplify your voice, so that way it's an actual working tool. It's only like $15-20.
Nick is the
Okay.
character in a movie that becomes really resourceful in the third act,
Mhm.
and he's the hero
I know.
of the story. Yeah, you've done that multiple times.
Well, the
where-
way he's talking about mechanics and mechanisms just as the Joker, I think he's another Joker.
You know, you could just buy this thing for $20.
I don't think you understand. I actually did go to school for engineering.
I
at
know
one
you
point.
did. That's why.
At one point, I did.
It's just you come up with resources and solutions to things when you need it the most, but you never really do it as often. That's why it's always a surprise. It's good because it comes in handy.
I know where to go.
All right, so we talked
Just
about your
have to
cosplay, but you also worked on a mural. This is the second one you've done a background for a cosplay that you've done, right? So the first one that you did was a League of Legends character. That one was
It was Camille, her Arcana skin in League of Legends.
Mhm.
And then I did a little mini one for Sally last year, but it was just very small scale. And then this one that I did for Moxie, again, I started it in April. I finished it maybe 2 months ago. Took lots of breaks, broke my mind. I really love
Sounded
how it
cracking.
came out.
I know. I thought she broke something.
Oh, no,
I thought she went.
This is just my anxiety.
Oops.
But no, I'm really proud of how it came out, but I'm also very excited to take it down and start a new one because I'm
Yeah.
tired of looking at it.
No, I think, like I said before, right? Because you have so many different layers to everything that you work on. And if people don't follow you on your Instagram to see how you document everything, it's interesting. You will literally work on a single piece of the entire mural over and over and over again because you're adding layers to it.
Yep.
And so I think one of the things that you were talking about was on the, because it's Moxie's bar, right? So Moxie's bar has the small LED white lamps on the bottom. And you did this weird thing where you did like an outer glow to the lights
Not very well, but yes.
But you did it. No, in photos it looks great.
Okay.
In photos it looks great.
I believe you.
But you did it in layers where you had the original outline and then you did the actual outer layer and then you redid the whole thing again.
So it's just called dry brushing. You take a very small amount of paint on a very like wild brush that you've already kind of worn down. You get as much of it off as you can and you just dry brush it on, and that's how you create glowing effects.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one way of how to do it. I did it a lot on the Camille one. A lot of stuff is glowing on that. But this one, those LED lights, that was my first time doing LED lights, and I hope it looks good. But yeah, it's with every new project I do. Again, going back to John, he was my number one cheerleader on this whole thing, because every time I show him some of my progress, he'd be like, "Oh my god, that looks so good," and I'm like, "Right." And it just kind of helped hype me up, where I just feel like every project I do, I'm improving a little more and more. Where last year I would have said that Jinx was my most proud one. This year I'm like, no, this is like my most proud one. This one is the most wearable and comfy of anything I've ever made, because I've learned to not only make my stuff look good, but to make it actually like functional and not like feel like it's gonna fall off at any second.
What
you know?
was you were gonna ask a question, but real quick, because you mentioned Jinx wasn't as comfortable. What was wrong with, or not wrong, but what was uncomfortable about Jinx?
I've learned how to make wigs better.
Oh, okay.
And I've learned how to make just costumes more like
Movable?
you can actually move in them. Where this, I could like be in it all day and I feel like very normal.
Mhm.
Where Jinx or the Camille one, I'm very like Patrick Star with like the safety cones on him.
You're
you know
like
what I mean? Like
a
very
person wearing
stiff.
Spartan armor.
Yeah, like I
Basically.
can't relax. But this, I'm like, hello.
I can move.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Go on.
No, I totally forgot, because I totally forgot to mention it. The fence came out really well.
Fence.
Because I thought it was funny, because when I went to go message you last night, I realized that the last message I sent you was like a year ago.
Jeez.
And
All right.
Not only that, but also because I had messaged you because at work I was going to be painting a fence, and we were going to be doing a
That's
mural.
right.
That was the last thing I messaged you about, because I was like, oh yeah,
you were
it's like
asking
a
me for
run
advice about it.
Yes, it came out. It came out really nice. We actually did an entire. We painted the entire fence, then we turned it into like this like light sky blue, and then what we did is we ended up making because the way right in front of it is just kind of like this dirt path, so we were able to actually put like little tiny like yellow roadrunners like all over it, so that way it kind of looks like they're dancing all over it. And then we did like what was it, like sponge painting? So we actually did it with sponges, and we did little clouds that are going all over it.
That's
So
good
it
texture.
yeah. I know how to paint.
Yeah! I mean, you literally painted your face right now in 5 minutes, and it looks.
Got it.
Got it.
It looks freaking sick.
But I tried.
I just love how Nick has to reaffirm.
I'm so
this.
sorry.
No, you're good. It's just I know how to paint.
I did.
I know you do,
You
because
painted your
I've
face.
never not doubted your resources.
No, I thought it was funny because when I was talking to her, because when I went to go message you about the topic, I then went, what was I talking to her about? Because I saw a Roadrunner and I was like, why did I send her a picture of a Roadrunner? That's weird. And then I went back to go read it, and I was like, oh, me and you were actually talking about like, because I was thinking about sponging, and then I was like, oh, the sponging would probably not work. And then I thought about rolling, and so we started talking about that. But it came out really nice. I actually have photos. I'll show it to you after.
Please do.
Yeah. Came out
All
really
right.
nice.
Well, let's talk about, because you, outside of the cosplays and the murals that you do for those cosplays, right? Here in Uptown Weir, you have a mural right outside of Lift Coffee, right?
Yes.
Still there?
It's still there.
Yeah, that one's
Somehow.
somehow.
I don't, because I know Lyft is like changed.
They've changed a lot, and it's definitely new owners, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I did the balloon mural where you can like look like you're holding it outside back in, oh my gosh, 2017?
It's pre-COVID.
It was
Oh, yeah.
2017. It got totally graffitied, and then I redid it again, and I put an anti-graffiti coat on it. And then years later, someone vandalized former Veggies EK. It's not there anymore. And vandalized all three and threw tar at them. And yeah, it's all caught on surveillance footage. It was very heartbreaking. This was like a year or two ago. And
Wait, which ones?
The like Hispanic heritage ones next door. There's like a butterfly and then a woman with some flowers.
Where's that at? It's
literally right next door. Like
oh,
there's
that's
like
right.
window
Yeah.
things. Yeah. And they're both stunning. And I hope that, because I'm tired of maintaining it, and I think another artist should have a chance to paint over it. So I've just totally been let go of like I've let go of that space, and I would love another artist to have a chance, because
That's nice. Yeah.
that's the nature with murals. Like I've done a lot of murals, and I know at least 4 that are not there anymore due to just being painted over. And that's just like the beauty of murals. It's like you put so much love and care into this thing knowing it's not going to be there forever, and I love that.
Did you also do the Nixon that was right next to it?
I did not do that one. I know the person who hired the person, but I don't know the actual artist. And
'Cause I know-
that's gone.
Because I know that one also got graffitied over.
a lot.
That one got
Yeah.
graffitied, but that one got, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't it get painted over because,
People kept graffitiing it.
'Cause
Yeah.
I'm
people
pretty
graffitiing
sure.
it.
but like they were
Yeah.
just against just Nixon as a whole, and they were
Well,
like,
that, I mean,
He's
yeah,
kind of controversial.
yeah, of course.
what about him was controversial?
A lot.
Oh, that's
Really,
right,
no,
dude.
really, what was-
Krispy
what was
Kreme
about
and
it?
idolized posters of him on your room, right?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean what I'm talking about?
Wait, what was wrong with Nixon?
Yeah, what did he-
There's a
what-
plaza literally right there, dude.
Yeah,
There is a
what's-
plaza.
So what's the problem with that?
Nothing.
Okay. Then
What are we
why-
talking? What
I
are you
don't
trying? What do you want from me?
know. Nothing.
All right,
I
great.
just want to
When
know
you're
what's going on with
high.
Nixon.
Yeah, exactly. He had an office in this building where my dad used to work.
That's right.
What are you doing there?
I don't know, dude, but apparently it's haunted.
I don't know, but I know one thing.
Uh-huh.
He never recorded anything that happened in there. Never recorded anything.
No, it's great. It's great to have you talk about this on the show because, yeah, you do serve as a reminder.
Talk
Of-
about Richard Nixon on the
No.
show. That's what you're really happy about?
It's great to talk about Richard Nixon on the show.
That's
Futurama.
that's your big thing with it. I'm so glad you're here to talk about Richard Nixon. I've always been a fan of his orchards. That's my big
I'm
thing.
here as the ambassador of Richard Nixon's disembodied head in a glass jar of liquid from Futurama.
Oh,
What do you want to know?
man, this
And
is
here
this
he
is
is.
perfect.
Just pull him out.
And he's like, "Brrr."
Dude, you know what? That'd be a great Halloween costume just to have like a head, like a jar, and then just
Oh,
And
or
then-
like you're like fried and then you're just carrying the head of a random like person.
That would
in the
actually be pretty
street.
funny.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy's head, dude.
But anyways,
Group
yeah.
cosplay, dude.
I'm down, dude. But how funny would it be for Richard Nixon? I can do it.
See,
Walk
the-
around here.
You know which one? You know which one would be funnier though if you were to dress up as Bender, and then
No.
you give yourself a little like area, and then you have a shirt that is Richard Nixon.
That's-
So that way, as you open it up, he's inside of you.
I wouldn't.
Look, I love that.
Because that way it works.
Yeah.
And then you're walking around as Bender, but then he has a
I was gonna
double-
say a joke with that, but then I forget that's Bill Clinton. Never mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's the nasty dress.
that's yeah.
that's a nasty dress. Because who keeps a dress after that? And then also, yeah, Watergate.
Yeah.
Fun.
I can't do a Bender cosplay because when I went
Why?
to Long Beach, some dude dressed up as Bender. Best Bender costume I've ever seen.
The only reason I'm saying do a Bender is because that would be an interesting like double. So that way you don't actually have to carry something all day.
That's true.
When you go to a con, I feel like every single time I've ever gone to a con and I go in a cosplay that has to carry something, it's a pain in the butt.
Your arms get tired.
You just
That's true.
you just want to put it somewhere. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, why did I bring this thing?
Example being one of the first events that, you know, like the new Wednesday events that are in Uptown, there was a cosplay one and I got second place. Yay. But I was, oh my gosh, Janna from League of Legends, Bewitching Janna. I made like a whole pumpkin thing last year, but I wore it this year for the thing. I carried that probably 15-pound thing around, maybe more, and my
You didn't get a chance to see it?
I saw pictures of it.
But okay.
It's like that thing's heavy. It's probably like 20 pounds even.
Mhm.
I carried
Yeah.
that on my shoulders, switching off for probably like 2 hours, and I was dying.
I think what kills
everything
me.
was like red and awful.
Yeah,
and
that's what
Yeah.
I mean though. Is like that stuff sucks.
it sucks. It looks great in photos, but in real life, it
No.
sucks.
when you when you brought that out, the broomstick, and I was carrying it, I think the funny thing was that it did make sense proportionally because you carry it and it's like super light on the bottom. And then
super judgy over here.
Oh, it's not balance, is what you
Yeah.
mean. It's proportional. Because
Oh no, not
I was
proportional.
like, dude, I
Yeah.
proportioned the crap out of
No.
that.
Sorry, the
I was about to
balance.
say, I was like, I'm like,
balance.
someone got real judgy.
No. The
Never been a
balance.
wasn't
cosplay in your
balanced.
life.
It wasn't. Yeah.
I never put a bottom on because, again, I didn't have time.
You said the pumpkin wasn't hollow, right?
Oh.
Or is the pumpkin hollow?
I learned from every cosplay I do, the pumpkin was pure, like, foil, hot glue, cardboard, heavy.
Wow, that was heavy as
Oh,
hell.
yeah.
It's literally probably like 15 to 20 pounds.
Just the
Where
just
now
that.
I learned where this year, spoiler alert, I'm making a Jack Skellington puppet that talks. It weighs maybe 5 pounds.
So my thing was that why didn't you just get like kind of like one of those like plastic pumpkins that already had it on there and then just hollow that out, seeing it was already hollow and then painting
Because
over it?
when I sit down in my home and I have my heart set on working on something and I have to drive to the store, I'm like, I would rather die. So I make it at home.
So you'd rather go
That's
through
the
the,
honest truth.
but it was already built.
You know what? Why that's true? I was working on Jack last night and I went to John and I was like, hey, I need to go to Michael's. Can you like come with me / take me because I don't want to go alone? Because I'm trying to be more like, oh, if I need something, I'll just go get it. I ate SHIT on the curb on the way to the car.
And then you walked back inside.
No, we kept going to the store. My knee was bleeding. We went to Rite Aid after. I got some stuff to fix it up, but that's why I don't leave my house.
I feel like
Last night's an example.
I feel like that's an outlier. That's
no.
that's not
I was
fact.
looking. What caused the accident? I was looking at my phone. My purse was right here, and I was like researching the product I needed to buy because I was like, this will make my life so much easier. And I
You're right. You should get rid of your
literally
cell phone.
fell onto my knees.
That's your
and
solution?
scraped
You should get rid of your cell phone. That's what the
Nick,
problem
not
was.
everyone can drive and watch stuff, all right? Not everyone has the
I was
luxury.
walking. I was
Exactly.
Yeah, that's easier.
That's not as life
But to
threatening.
go back to your original question, I don't go to the store and just buy stuff because I'm cursed and bad stuff happens apparently. And also I'm very like, if I have my head set on something, I just do it right there. I just make it happen. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Do you
It's because
have?
I'm a Taurus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, please don't.
You know-
Please
you know-
don't.
you know-
We're not
you
doing
know-
this.
you know- it's
we're
funny.
like, let's not.
They
That's
did
not-
they did that at work the other day where somebody was just like, "Oh my god, you're such a Pisces," and then I was like, "What does that even mean?"
Okay, John's a Pisces, and I
Oh my
don't
God,
care
I was a
about.
guess.
I only
Are you a
think of
Pisces?
No.
Oh,
John started using it as a joke, but then it became very real for him, and I was like, please cut that shit out. I don't like
you're
it.
fine. That doesn't matter.
I'm not a big astrology person. I think it's funny and fun, but I'm definitely not one of the diehards. But it's fun to be like, it's because I'm this, but like in a joking way. That's why I said that. Because I'm stubborn, which is Taurus apparently.
Nah, I just hate it because everyone's against Virgos.
You're a Virgo.
Are you a Virgo? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I'm a
right.
Virgo.
You're a
That's yeah,
Virgo.
that's why.
It's because you're a Virgo.
That's why
What do
people
I do?
people don't like Virgos or Scorpios apparently.
Scorpios, I understand.
Listen, I'm not saying that Virgos are bad, but you guys are terrible. And you're annoying.
And yet you're here.
Sagittarius is I accept everyone. I'm kind.
It's the biggest piece of garbage I've ever heard come out of your mouth, but okay, sure.
I'm kind and loyal. That's
You
what
are
Sagitt-
loyal.
that's
You
what
are loyal.
Sagittarius
I will
is
tell
like.
you that. You are loyal. Kind? I don't know. This is coming from someone who's wearing a Joker costume and putting sticky notes on
Dude,
and
he was
plastic wrapping cars.
He was so scared. It was so funny. I felt bad because we were in the room and I put it so low that only he could hear it. And then he was like, "Did you guys hear that?" And we all legitimately went, "No, what did you hear?" And he
Can
goes,
you go into work
"Shut
like
up."
that? Go into work wearing that
I
and
could've.
start messing with him. That'll
could've.
be just it. And then we can dump you in a psych ward afterwards.
But you should wear it on Halloween for the first time and then just don't stop.
Oh, just say like,
Just
oh,
keep-
this is my normal wear.
This is what I wear normally.
This is what you wear
Halloween
normally.
awakened something in me.
And then wear it November 1st again.
That's what I mean. It's like Halloween's the first day, and then you just keep wearing it.
It's just
Every day, like what?
The hard part is that I have
This
Monday,
is me
Tuesday off.
This is me. This is me now.
I'm not going to see him until Wednesday, which He still hasn't found the speakers. So it's gonna
You're
be
so messed up. Sarah, what would you like to tell the people that you've been working on? If you have any future projects that maybe you want to share, or are you trying to keep everything secret?
Oh my god, I have a whole PDF or Excel sheet about it. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on all of them.
just whip it out.
My phone's over there, and my arms are short.
It's too much work.
Is this what John has to deal with? Just
Yes.
it's too far.
His wingspan is like double mine, so yes. Just kidding. I plan on doing something from YouTube. That's my next project.
YouTube.
It's a very funny point in YouTube history that I've mentioned to you before.
Yes, now
and
I
it'll
know.
be fast and fun. And then I have
It's the YouTube box, huh?
Hmm?
It's the YouTube box, huh?
No.
It's just gonna be the YouTube box.
YouTube rewind.
oh my god.
She's the,
Oh my god,
she's the-
YouTube TV?
You're the gold plated, the 100 million plaque, or the 1 million plaque. That's what you're gonna dress up as.
That would be kind of sick. I would make that
Just
happen.
like a big old frame.
But no, I have a whole list of things that I want to do. One of them is a character from Castlevania, like a side character. Again, the YouTube kind of meme one. Some Disney stuff. Some people think it's Disney stuff, but not. Just
Kingdom
a bunch
Hearts.
of stuff.
I don't know why it's tangled in something.
We'll talk about it.
Oh.
But I have a whole Excel sheet of stuff. But my next one is going to be fast and fun, and it's going to be YouTube themed. So there we go.
You've mentioned it to me, and that one's. If you want to mention it to them after the show.
It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like legit. It's gonna be funny.
Would you
and
say
I'm,
it's more fast or furious?
I love that. It'll be both.
Anything you'd like to plug in?
I changed my handle on Instagram. It is no longer what it was, and it is now Sarah Bear Cosplay. Sarah with an H, Bear Cosplay, because I like
Bears?
bears.
Because of Baldur's Gate?
No, it's because everyone in my life has called me Sarah Bear at one point, and I was like, this makes sense.
I thought it was a different type of bear. Okay.
Well,
Oh, I love that.
before we move on to some topics, because you, like I said, you've been on the show 3 different times already.
3
You know,
years in a row.
let's see how you integrate into the
Yeah.
system
It's
and
super
do the
tight.
normal show stuff for a second, okay?
Let's
But
do it.
if you guys are interested in following Sarah, all her socials will be in the descriptions of wherever you're listening. Go follow her, go support her work. She does really great stuff, everything from cosplays to murals, paintings, and honestly, like even like your daily life stuff. Sometimes it's full of art and
Chaotic.
you started doing reels, which are just like some of the randomest things ever.
The cringe I feel when I make reels, but also the joy I have with people responding and being like, "You're dumb," and I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, I mean, it's you say
fine.
it's cringe, but there's a lot of. It's funny that you say there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, and there is, and they're interesting.
They
They're
take
funny
me out
too.
of my comfort zone, but it's very fun because I feel like I have a lot of fun ideas, but I don't have the confidence to execute them. Like Moxie, for example, I've been wanting to cosplay this outfit of Moxie for years, and this is the year that I had the confidence to make that happen. I also love.
No, keep going. This is great. You were doing so well.
I was just so into what was happening. You were like ripping off Thanos' glove.
I was like, this would have been a perfect. I could just pull that into a reel because it's you just talking and then just cut into them just taking the gauntlets off.
I'm sorry I ruined that for you.
You're good.
Okay, let's
No, I
just
can do
pretend-
it.
Anyway,
Take
so-
2. And put it back on.
No, I'm not putting them back on. They were hard enough to get off. I put them on and then I regretted it immediately.
The moment I knew you messed up, you were like, "Oh."
I know, because I was putting them on and then it didn't want to move anymore, and I went,
Wait, how'd you put them on? Can you show me?
No,
Literally, you're Thanos, bro.
no, because I thought, and then I was like trying to get it off, and then he goes, "Are they stuck?" And I'm like,
Oh my god. No, but your reels are great. Everything on your socials is great. So go follow her at Sarah Bear Cosplay on Instagram. And you are planning on expanding some social stuff as well. Hopefully, maybe.
I don't think I'm gonna become a streamer because
yeah.
I can't handle that. But I would love to do some stuff on YouTube, and we'll see if that happens.
Cool.
Maybe coming few months.
Cool. Well, we will. What is the word I'm looking for? We'll go ahead and share it. Once you start working on it,
Great.
sometime in the future. So when it happens, no pressure from anyone. But go follow her.
I just have to do it.
All right. So we do have a main topic for the show, but I do want to get through comic strips, and I shortened it down because obviously we wanted to highlight you and make sure that you had your opportunity to talk about you and everything you've been working on.
Why?
So what do you mean why? Because you're the guest. What do you mean? Oh, I'm just gonna be here, sit, and that's it.
We could have done that.
John was gonna sit in the corner. I could have done that.
Yeah, but he went to go play Diablo 4, right?
Why?
3. No, 4.
Is it 3
It
or is
was
it 4?
It's 4.
I don't know.
But why?
I don't know. You should have asked him. You saw him.
No, he
didn't.
wasn't.
Oh, you weren't here.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he went. He's like, oh, I'd stop by, but I'm gonna go home and play Diablo 4 in season 2. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, because season 2 came.
Season 2 came out like a
Thanks,
couple
John.
days.
Anyway, comic strips.
Comic strips, a
Comic
portion of the
strips.
show where we
us
talk
them
about
strippers.
Come on in.
comic
Take it
strippers.
up.
We're
Take
rebrand.
it. Oh no, I thought
No.
that was what Brian was gonna do. Damn it.
And then preview Cake on Cake.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh,
portion
Sarah,
of-
really quick. What do you
No,
think of
no,
Cake
no,
on Cake?
no.
Have you heard of it?
Do you know what cake on cake is?
We're not even in the section yet. Why are you guys already tangenting?
I want to hear her thoughts.
What do you think cake on cake is?
You already know what her answer is gonna be.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
But-
you do.
No, I don't.
Butt on butt.
See?
Cake on cake.
That's wrong.
I know. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you don't know what it is?
No.
Comic strips.
The
No.
portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation, and Nick tries not to tangent about anything else.
It's his only.
I'd eat it.
It's just videos of him sitting on cake in a.
All right, guys, I'm announcing my retirement. Thank you very much.
Comic strips.
I think, see, that's not what you should have said. You can't you can't have Nick pitch you the idea of cake on cake. I'm not for it. All right. I already said that if he can get someone a contract and have a bunch of money sent for it, I'd be down for it,
No,
but
you
he
didn't.
hasn't found anyone. What was
No,
it?
you
Oh,
didn't.
Ring.
No, you
It had to
didn't.
be sponsored by Ring.
No, you didn't.
And
You
then
said-
it doesn't help that you say you'd eat the cake afterwards. That's not how that works.
Wait,
you,
is
there's
the
an
butt
audience.
bare?
Yes. It's in a
Oh.
thong.
But then it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Bride's face.
Think of that mental
when
image.
that came out of my mouth, I was like, what am I saying? Okay, no. Sorry. No, okay, real talk. To answer your question, stranger? Hell no.
Brian? Yes. That's where I feel like that's where we're going.
I was thinking about John, but okay.
Oh.
I feel like John and Brian would eat each other's. Let's change the subject, please.
She just made
Oh.
it so much better.
My God.
You know you would. Okay, let's stop.
Oh my God. 2 guys, 1 cake.
I love you both so much.
2 guys, 1 cake.
Stop.
Yes. We're gonna go viral.
We're changing. This is a family-friendly channel, you
Since
guys.
It goes out the
when?
window. Trust me, the moment you talk about cake on cake, it's over. It's so over.
2 bears, 1 cake.
Stop.
Oh my god.
Do I even want to do comic strips at this point?
Go ahead. Yes, try.
I mean, we're
Okay,
here
okay,
for it.
Okay.
It's like
I'm not gonna look at you. You're done. You're grounded. I'm grounding you.
I'm just gonna stare at this for a second.
It's real lonely in my
Stop it!
cake.
David Fincher says that there's talks going on in studios about a possible The Social Network 2.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty-
awesome. Also, what's that movie that he just came out with? The Killers or whatever?
Sure.
There's a movie he just came out with.
The killer.
It's not Silent Night.
Is it about the killers?
No, it's with
Oh.
Michael Fassbender. What's his name?
Fassbender?
Is it?
Oh.
Are you
don't
thinking
know
of the Taika Waititi movie?
No.
I feel like
There's the computer right
Yeah, I
there.
know.
I feel
I'm
like-
just literally
Yeah,
trying to
I have
see
no
what you
idea
come
what
up
this
with.
I feel like Google would have an answer.
That's why.
I'm not sure though.
But he did release a movie, and I think in that conversation he was having, he did mention that there's talks about it, but nothing confirmed yet.
What would be Social Network 2?
Meta.
It's him about
Oh,
Meta
The
and-
Killer.
The
It's
Killer.
on Netflix.
Oh, I gotta watch it.
So it's him buying YouTube and then
He didn't buy YouTube.
Or not buying YouTube, Oculus.
Oculus.
Then,
And then Instagram.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Can we do the entire? Can he just do the movie about him buying Oculus, and then you find out that the creator of Oculus is kind of an alt-right person? Then he has to deal with that. in
Alt-right
court.
or all-right?
No, he's an alt-right.
Alt-right. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you
He's an
enunciate.
all-right
Yeah, he's the right guy, you know?
He's a pretty
No.
cool guy.
No.
He goes to
All
Krispy
right.
Kreme.
Not.
He not a great guy. I met him a couple times. Not a great guy.
Why would you meet him?
I used to work in the industry, buddy.
You shook his hand?
I did actually.
Yeah?
I met him a
Great.
couple times.
Oh, okay, so
I went to the Oculus.
you're an all-right guy too, huh?
I am an alt-right
Brian.
guy. I am.
I'll smack you.
It's okay. When
No,
Brian,
shut your
when-
mouth. You literally had 5 minutes
for
of-
Halloween, he's gonna be a Krispy Kreme uniform.
Great. Anyway,
Ew. No. Stop. It doesn't work with your face paint when you say it like that. You want to see a pencil disappear?
It's gonna be great when I see you dancing in Krispy Kreme.
Stop. You're grounded. You're grounded. What are you doing? You can't talk.
You got a little something right here.
It's a little glaze.
A little glaze.
You want to bring the stash back? The Black Phone 2 will release June
There you go.
27th.
She got it. She's back.
I never left.
I just closed the door. That was it. I was still outside. The Black Phone 2 will release June 27th of 2025.
That's nice.
Funny thing about that is they teased it the day before, and then the day after they said it's coming out.
The black phone.
The Black Phone 2.
Will Ethan Hawke be attached to this?
I
Probably.
was gonna say that's the Ethan Hawke one, right?
That's
Yeah.
what Ethan
Yeah.
Hawke would be, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
The
wearing a
only
mask.
reason that movie has stuck with me was because my screen professor for the class would not stop talking about this. Because apparently
Really?
it's a USC student that wrote it.
Wow.
And I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sure.
Go Trojans, I guess.
Coach, good thing you did this. Not the other way around. Stop looking at me, Nick.
Where am I supposed to look?
Look somewhere
the one
else.
talking.
Dario.
You're talking.
Okay, I'm trying to say this because I wrote it too small. Dario Scrapdapona, I guess the director of The Punisher, is set to be the showrunner for Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, okay.
And directors Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead are set to direct per Hollywood Reporter.
And according to Hollywood Reporter, they were just fired. I mean, the way that at the rate this show's going,
Right?
Kevin Feige said, let's greenlight it. And no.
No.
I didn't like what he had to say.
Who are these dumbasses? Why did we bring him in? Cancel that.
I liked his pitch. but I
Speaking
don't like
about
what he's
the
writing.
MCU, the MCU official timeline book released earlier this week, confirming
Mhm.
a couple pieces of information, which you actually talked about almost a year and a half ago, 2 years.
I know I'm a genius.
What?
Yeah, he mentioned it, and it because I read it and I was like, oh shoot, he was on point. So one of the things that the book did confirm is Spider-Man's Homecoming's 8-year title card that was on the movie is actually incorrect, with Miss
4.
Minutes saying that the events of New York happened 4 years
Yeah.
after, not 8.
Wait, so is it a retcon or is it just an error?
So
it was an error.
it was an error, but the MCU official timeline book isn't saying it's retconned. The way they're kind of fixing it is they're using Miss Minutes from Loki in saying that the TVA misplaced the file. So therefore it's incorrect. Yeah.
That's again? Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
You're good. Don't encourage Nick. Don't encourage him.
I am so sorry.
One
But
of-
no, that's
What does that mean?
that's a retcon.
That it's yes
it's
and no.
them cleaning up.
It's a retcon
It's a
by normal standards.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
not a retcon to the MCU. The other thing they did mention is that Wanda is officially dead, stating
no.
she destroys Wandagore
the tower
and
that falls on her.
collapses
No.
it upon herself, ending 2 great threats to all of the multiverse. Here's the thing.
That's.
Hang on.
I'm.
We've
mad
mentioned
about
this.
That.
We've all mentioned this. Where's the body?
Where you don't ever see her body.
No body, no
And
death.
also, Vision is still out there. Ship of Prometheus or whatever the
What?
heck it
Here-
was.
Here's the thing.
Theseus. Sorry.
You can't. You can't say that the threat is annihilated when when you introduce the multiverse.
Yeah.
Because then that means, oh well, that's cool. We're just gonna grab this Wanda and she's gonna come with us. You're gonna come with us. You're gonna I don't care.
Get your hands off me, criminal!
But also along those lines,
My kids.
And then they go, God! And then they drag her by the hair, and then they throw her, and they go, all right, cool. Now
They
you're
realized that
here.
it wasn't this Olsen twin, but it was the other one. That
Yeah,
but along those same lines is WandaVision was such like a cultural impact where like people who didn't even watch anything on the MCU were into WandaVision because it was such a good show.
It was. Yeah.
And
solid
if we
show.
don't get any resolution between a version of Wanda and a version of Vision, it's such poor writing and planning where it makes me so upset, and I have burnout from the MCU right now, and that still frustrates the crap out of me.
So
that's the-
you haven't seen Loki season 2, right?
No.
Well, that's
Not yet.
the problem though, is that because in Wanda is very much set up to be like, I'm gonna be my own person.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be my own person, and I'm not gonna do this and everything like that. And you're like, okay, cool. Wanda came up and she was like, I'm gonna be the Scarlet Witch. You're not gonna tell me how to be the Scarlet Witch. Then at the very end of it, and she's kind of coming, and then also she comes to terms
She
with
does.
Vision's death.
Yeah.
And then once you go into Doctor Strange 2, it's like, I'm upset about everything again. Everything that happened in WandaVision doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that I'm angry and I got the dark book. And that's all.
And that's all we're left on. So that's why I say like that version of Vision that leaves and is real is gone, and we haven't seen him back yet. I think, right?
No, we haven't seen him back.
White
And
Vision
then
hasn't been back.
I think it would just be so bad of Marvel to just leave that loose end so unsatisfied and not tied up. Where that's like, I can deal with a lot of plot holes, but that's a really big plot hole for how
So-
big WandaVision was.
I feel like WandaVision should have gotten a second season so that way you can then finish what
Yeah.
was going on.
Instead of going into Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then after everything was said and done, maybe Vision breaks up with her, or maybe he feels that her manipulating the fabric of space time is
And then
bad.
she goes crazy
Well,
from that.
and then she goes nuts about
Sure.
that, of trying to find a Vision that will accept
That
her.
We
would make
mentioned
more
this
sense.
2
Yeah.
issues ago, where Kevin Feige is going back and saying that they had no plan originally for this last phase, where the movies
really
and the
seems like
TV
it.
shows were like he had no idea what direction
Hence
they were
the
heading.
burnout, because
Yeah.
I'm over it.
No, but if you watch this new season of Loki, they kind of explain what they're trying to do, because every version of Loki gets pulled into this show. So there's no longer multiple versions of Loki out there in the universes.
Mhm.
So it's an interesting one. I've seen the first 3. Is it? Or is it the first 2 that have released? The third one came out
Four.
yesterday.
There's
For
like,
Loki?
No, there's 5. There's 4 episodes.
There's
dude.
4. So then
Yeah.
the 4th one came out yesterday
Oh,
Yeah,
but
as
it's
of recording.
just-
Yeah, it's so far a really interesting show.
I
And
thought that this 4th episode was hilarious.
does it have a really violent scene?
Yes.
Like really messed up?
Not really messed up, but it's freaking hilarious.
So
You ever seen Deep Blue Sea?
No.
Has a scene like that.
Well, I haven't seen it.
like a Sam Jackson,
Like a Sam Jackson Deep Blue Sea. It's hilarious.
okay.
It's so
People are
funny.
saying it's gruesome, and I'm like, what the hell are they watching? Because
Did you-
The Boys is like as gruesome as it gets on streaming.
That
I
was
love The
mild.
Boys.
Boys is great. Gen
That
V
was
is great.
mild. Can I tell you what it is?
No, I haven't seen it.
I'd rather not it be spoiled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind
'Cause
of
I
want to
will
see. I
watch
want to
it
get
eventually.
shocked.
Yeah.
I want to get shocked.
Yeah,
Is it
it's-
the Boys level or is it less?
No.
Okay, then it's fine.
It's
It's
No,
violent
like-
for Marvel.
is it
Oh,
like-
okay.
violent. I guess
Well, even more.
it's nothing worse than you saw in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh,
Or what
it's
about-
very
That's not bad.
similar.
What about those scenes in Secret Invasion?
Which
You
ones?
watched Secret Invasion?
I watched those scenes.
Which
You
scenes?
watched? Oh, I thought you watched it all. I'm like,
Wait,
dude, how'd
which
you get
scenes?
through?
Yeah, I watched Peacemaker. Secret Invasions was good.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Okay, can we talk? Wait. But Peacemaker was the better version of Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah,
For
no, it's way
sure.
it's way better.
Peacemaker is so good.
Mhm.
James
Anyway.
Gunn needs to finish season 2 already, but he's
Yeah.
busy being head honcho. So
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
that's it.
true.
No, we'll talk about the storylines in the main topic, but side story of Spider-Man. Forgot to write it, but who were the 2 actors make a
Oh.
guest appearance in the
In
Spider-Man, 2 game?
2, it's they're both dressed as spider cats in the bodega. They're like mascots.
What?
And it's both Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk.
Mhm.
that
Oh my
voice those. Yeah.
Did you also see the other one, too?
No.
Which because it's if you find the little spider bots,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
when you find the last spider bot, it opens up the same rift from Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
So it opens up the same rift, which then takes you to the Spider-Man 2 video game from the 2004 video
Is it?
game.
Are the
That's-
graphics awful?
And the
Oh
graphics,
my god!
you can see a picture of it. She's all blocky and everything like that. And she goes, "I've been waiting for you, Spider-Man. Well, tell Miguel that he's not getting any of these." And then he goes, "Who's Miguel?" And she goes, "You'll find out." And then the actual like hex closes.
So
That's
Spider-Man 2 takes
sick.
place before Across the Spider-Verse. Because the version of Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse is already in that multiverse place.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
So
interesting.
I thought it was interesting because they were talking about Miguel and they're talking about all these other things. So they're connecting everybody.
That's sick. Spider-Man's dope, dude.
You can look at the image up of like just like the way she looks in it. Just look up Spider-Man 2.
You can look it up. I'm gonna kind of want to say it.
No, same here. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna look at
Oh,
it.
you want to see it?
Yeah, because
It-
I'm gonna get the game in December.
Well, and the hint to it is because when you pick up the spider bots, they glitch.
That makes sense.
Cute.
So as
That
you're
makes
picking
sense.
up the spider bots, they like shimmer and they glitch. So you're kind of like, why is it glitching?
I'm gonna burn through the last 2 topics here, real quick because we are going to our main topic soon. So, studios threaten SAG-AFTRA strikes, to basically stop all forms of negotiation until January if no conclusion or agreement is reached by the end of the week.
This current week?
This current, so as of release of this episode, this week is the last week of negotiations, and studios are basically saying if we don't reach some sort of peace or agreement, we are ending all forms of negotiation until January. The thing with this is that it's starting to affect a lot of different jobs. One of the most, not the most predominant one, but the most obvious one that you can see are restaurants that are suffering from this, because a lot of restaurants that are close to studios that have actors or production that are working on shows go and eat them. Go to eat to those restaurants, they end up not having the same customers that are coming in. So they end up suffering. So a lot of businesses that are kind of revolving around this industry are basically either going bankrupt, shutting down, or just suffering massive losses. The movie industry is also pushing back a lot of different movies. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the previous comic strips, but Mission Impossible Part 2, the Death Reckoning Part 2, got pushed back to May 23rd of 2025.
Holy crap.
So that's
We still got a whole another year.
another year. Wow. Which means that we'll probably have to rewatch Death Reckoning Part 1, which I don't mind. It's a pretty good
I
one.
I still have to buy it for my collection.
Yeah.
Did you also see that the what's it called? The Jonathan Majors movie that Disney was having. It's now it's off their announcements.
Rene was mentioning it.
Yeah, it's off their announcements. They pushed it, which they totally took it off until they figure out what's
What to
going
do
on
with
with
him.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Which, sure. They did release an image for the Snow White movie, the live action one that they're doing.
But that one got delayed another year, right?
That one got delayed to 2025, I think in May or April. But they finally revealed how it looks like.
Is it still, what's her name?
Rachel Ziegler? Yeah, it's still her.
They haven't.
She looks great. Dwarves
I don't
look mid.
My thing is that why would you push it back a year? I feel
Because
like
there's no movies. There's nothing that people are working on right now.
I get
You
that.
got to fill that gap.
But also there's a lot of controversy with that movie.
Oh yeah.
Because Rachel Ziegler doesn't know how to shut her mouth.
I think that goes along the same lines as Warner Brothers needing to release The Flash, where they've probably invested way too much time in it that they're just kind of like, let's
they
just put it
can't.
out there.
They can't recast it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like Rachel Ziegler is just purely talking out of her butt.
No, yeah. So we'll bring up more news about SAG-AFTRA if more comes out. But as always, the links to find more information have been in the description since the strikes have been going on. So if you guys want more information about that or want to keep up with it or find any way of supporting it, all that information is in the description. So go check it out, guys, because the industry that you know and love is basically going through it, and it's best to keep informed. The last bit of comic strips news, which will lead into our main topic: Five Nights at Freddy's released
Five Nights at
last
Freddy's.
week to
Mid.
no,
It's mid.
no,
It's bad.
Mid is
It was bad.
mid is being nice. It's
I'm not judging it until I see
no,
it.
and that's fair. I haven't seen it either.
I sat through me and Rene sat through an entire movie of my brother yelling at the screen.
Yeah, I'm
But
surprised.
do you even know the lore?
Do you even watch Five Nights?
Bro, I have a little tangent. So literally yesterday, I Googled like reviews for Five Nights at Freddy's initially because, it was the Thursday night that the movies come out now. And it was all critic reviews. And a lot of the reviews were like, it wasn't scary. The jump scares were fine, but not great. the lore was overcomplicated. It was boring. We sat there and it was very convoluted story and not much scares. And I'm like, have you played the games?
No,
Are you a fan of the
but-
games? Because the fandom, that's what it is.
But here's the thing. I understand that it has a very, very substantial lore, and it has really good lore, and it is well thought out. The problem, no, but
Okay.
it connects.
It's not well thought out.
But the thing is,
It's
The
not.
but it
lore
does-
of Five Nights
but it
is
does-
you're
but
trying
it-
to build a Lego set without instructions.
okay, that's
Thank
fair.
you.
But here's the problem, though. The movie is overbloated.
Sure.
The problem is that you could have gotten to the same point with 3 scenes instead of 25.
Oh, for sure.
Because the main thing was that when we were watching it, we were an hour in, and we went, well, this movie's about to end now.
Yeah.
And then we went, wait, it's only night 3. And then we paused it because Rene had to use the restroom. And right when we paused it, we then saw it was right in the middle.
Right. At
We
the
were
hour
like,
mark.
What?
Mhm.
There's still an hour of this movie left? How is that possible?
Welcome to the
and it was
fandom.
No,
He doesn't get to Freddy Fazbear's. He doesn't get there
For
Until
30 minutes.
30 minutes into the movie where he actually enters the first night.
And night 1 and 2, just immediate.
So-
super quick.
Yeah.
Before we transition into that and talk about the stories,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
About how you're trying to get these franchises
Mhm.
into, make good stories out
Yeah.
of them. So yeah, it released to, non-stellar reviews.
Yeah.
And then it had multiple premieres. I think it
Mhm.
basically, we already know the movie already made its budget back and more. Based
Oh,
off,
It's
yeah,
gonna
get
get
a-
a-
it
it's gonna get a
already made
sequel.
its money. Like
It's gonna get
there's,
a sequel.
it's gonna get a sequel, and regardless
And
of
the
it,
sequel will be even better.
this is toy sales. We're talking about the popularity of it. People are going to watch it regardless, right? The premieres had that were placed all over the place. Had a lot of special events. They had a red carpet event. One of the theaters that was showcasing the premiere of Five Nights at Freddy's had the actual Fazbear animatronic in the back row of the theater, so that was great.
That's what I'm talking about.
25%, 89.
I predicted that.
Okay,
The critic, I can show you a text from John. I said, I'm loving how the critics hate this because it's literally not made for them. It's made for kids. It's made for
Yeah.
diehard fans and people who are so excited to learn about the lore.
But
so
That's the point.
But here's the problem, though. I don't know a kid that would have sit through that movie.
so here's
I am
so
going
much-
to the movies tomorrow
So-
with a kid who is so stoked about it.
But
Let
there's-
me finish
there's-
this last thought.
But there's just so much talking and there's so much
That's
mindless plot where
Yeah.
it's like I can totally see a kid that's watching this movie just glaze over
Sure.
and go, what?
So
Like,
here's, I
what's
was going to
going
finish
on?
this last thought. The biggest piece of news out of the premiere was actually reported by Dexterdo, who showcased a premiere of Five Nights at Freddy's where there were fights breaking out in the movie theater. You saw the video,
I
right?
saw the
What?
video,
Yeah, there was a premiere where it's just maybe 8 or 10 people were just going ham in the front row, like
Mhm.
fighting each other,
Like legitimately?
like legitimately fighting.
Why?
Because from what I understood, there were a group of people that were kind of what's the word I'm looking for when you not haggle
Hecklers?
hecklers. They were just heckling throughout the entire movie, and people were telling them to shut up, and they didn't. So the videos of them, credits rolling, just fighting each other.
By the time we had the
awful.
movie, it's all right. You see that, like,
See, that makes me sad because even if the movie's not good or it drags on, there's so much love put behind it. Like it's the Jim Henson people making the puppets.
Yeah.
That I've watched so much stuff about the sets and behind the scenes, and like the people who made this movie are fans of the games, and there's so many Easter eggs and so many, like, there's so much thought and care going into this that I'm gonna love it purely for that. But literally that rating of critics score 25, audience score 89, that's exactly what I knew it was going to happen, because it's not made for critics, it's made for kids who are fans, diehard fans who are like our age, and I'm so excited to see it.
What the other thing was that when we were watching it, because when we were watching it all together, we also watched it with Mandy.
Mhm.
Mandy was watching it with us over the phone and everything like that, and she was pissed.
Really?
And
did
Mandy's
not like any of
Mandy
this.
was a
She watched it a second
huge-
time today to hopefully
like
get
it.
another just perspective in it.
That makes me
same
sad.
thing.
Yeah, she's a
She
big fan.
didn't like the direction of the story and what they did. There's one part I told you about that feels very kind of like Disney Channel Halloween movie-esque.
But I feel like that's the point.
Yeah, but that's the
Because
thing.
the games are a lot more gory and scary. Like you see a bunch of stuff, but I think that it was purposely made. One review that I saw that was a good one. What it said, this is a very good gateway horror movie for kids because it's not supposed to be like traumatic scary. It's supposed to be like fun scary, I would say, where the games are scary and people who are expecting that, like, it's a PG-13, it was rated R. I want all the gore and all the stuff that you see in the games, but like
last minute they changed it to PG-13. Like it was,
They did?
Yeah,
I originally thought the creators were like, there's no rated R version.
It was originally, the thought process was going to be an R-rated one.
R probably would have made it a better film.
Yeah,
for sure, because it would have been what more people were expecting to see. But I like that it's PG-13 because people like my little cousin, who I'm gonna go watch it with tomorrow, can watch it. You know,
that is true.
But
it's for like tweens.
And I get that because Freddy Fazbear and Five Nights at Freddy's has a really deep rooted audience in tweens and you know teenagers and stuff like that.
It was an R rating, and like
I say like
no, but that's the thing though, is that the problem is that when you're watching the movie, yes, I can understand it's probably not, it's meant for a younger audience, but the thing is that you have these moments of horror and the it's not even like this like, oh cool, and then it has this like transition into a more goofier, because you can have a goofy horror film. There's plenty of movies that do that. What was it, Tucker and Dale say which one
versus Evil?
That's a perfect example.
I love that movie.
But that's a perfect example of a horror film that doesn't take itself seriously and has a goofy side to it and understands, okay, cool, we're gonna play on the tropes and we're going to have fun with this movie. Whereas in this one, there's a lot of scenes where like they'll kill people and then the next scene is them playing around, like, and you're just kind of going like, what scene is this? Like, what is going on? Like, why are we doing this?
This is where that complicated aspect of this film probably comes into play, right? Because we've mentioned this before on previous issues where we talked about a film being subjectively good and objectively good, right? This could be a perfect example of a film that this movie could be subjectively bad, or excuse me, objectively bad. It's not a good film. It doesn't have good pacing. The screenplay is terrible. It doesn't really have a, you know, plot that transitions from a climb to the climax and then a resolution at the end, right? It probably doesn't have that. But subjectively, it could be enjoyed by certain groups of people. And I think the best example that I can think of that isn't horror that does this really well is Need for Speed, right? Because Need for Speed, the video games, don't have proper storylines to make a movie out of, right? But they still made a movie with Aaron Paul, right? A lot of people, if you look up Need for Speed, I think it's like less than 50% in terms of like critic score, and then the audience is like still on the low spectrum. But
I like Need for Speed.
I
do like that movie.
Need for Speed is a great freaking movie for people that enjoy the racing aspect of the film. There's a lot of love and attention to the actual cars. Yeah, but look, it's still a 56%, meaning it's a half and half, which is basically what most Need for Speed games are anyways. But when we're talking about what makes Need for Speed is the cars and the racing. And I can guarantee you when this movie came out, Fast and Furious wasn't doing what Need for Speed was doing.
I feel like Need for Speed is Torque 2.
Torque 2?
It kind of has like the same vibe as Torque.
Yeah.
When you're going into it, and Torque is wild.
Yeah. But can you agree with me that this is objectively a bad movie, but subjectively it's so much fun?
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I didn't have fun while watching Five Nights at Freddy's.
And that's fine. Because I think that what Five Nights at Freddy's is doing is aiming for a certain crowd where it knows it can get its money, which are the kids. It's a cash grab. And you know what?
I don't want it.
No. Because here's why.
Disagree with that.
Here's why it's a good thing.
Okay.
Because you can still get potentially a sequel out of it, and you can enjoy it even if it is a cash grab. Need for Speed
the sequel will be even better.
Probably, and Need for Speed is a cash grab. It is a cash grab movie because it advertised the games. Five Nights at Freddy's will not make its money off this movie. What is it going to make its money out of?
Toys.
Merch and toys. 100%. That's all you need.
But here's my thing though, is that also my big thing for the movie is that it was absent a villain. The villain was
you all along.
No, the villain is very absent throughout the entire movie, and then it becomes a Scooby-Doo movie.
That's
At the
the
very
video
end.
game.
that's the game.
No, but
Because okay,
But the thing is that you're supposed to be kind of afraid of the animatronics
Mhm.
because you're not supposed to trust the animatronics because you don't know their backstory. And then as you get closer into it, this movie would have been really great if it would have been Insidious. No. But it had the same kind of build up as Insidious.
Mhm.
Of he's not entirely too sure what's going on. He's being haunted. He's being
This takes
Oh, like
As
you're
you-
questioning if it's like in his head or
is
like
it in
in
his
real
head?
life.
But
Yeah,
not
yeah,
only
yeah.
that, but also it's one of those things of the more I learn about it, the more danger I get into.
Mhm.
This one was very much,
they were teeter-tottering that because
And-
he was learning.
and they were trying, and and that's the problem though. There's a good movie in this movie.
Yeah.
There is good scenes. There's greatness in it. The problem is that it's bloated. It's too bloated because you're trying to get too much information, and the movie needs to cut half an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
That's the game.
But that's
No.
But
I
you
get
can't-
what you
but
mean.
But you can't just say, "Oh, that's the game," because you do also still need to make the movie not drag, and you need to not bore people with.
But that's where the objectivity comes in, right?
Where I know because I know Scott Cawthon, the creator of the games, it was like had a really big hand in this, and that's why it looks the way it does.
That explains everything.
It explains everything. He made the first game he just made as a game with no intention of having any backstory, blah 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 blah. He just made that game. 2 comes along, felt compelled to put some backstory. 3 backstory. 4, he tied all of the things together somehow, and we're still figuring out 10 years later.
Mhm.
And with all the games that are added on, I literally watched / listened to a 9-hour video of all of the lore. And I've been watching Matt Pat's videos and other people's videos because, like, I'm low-key a diehard fan because the lore is so incoherent. That's why I'm so obsessed with the lore in the games, because it's like we're all still trying to figure this all out 10 years later. So the fact that the movie is super convoluted makes so much sense.
It also doesn't help that Scott Cawthon
He wrote it.
It's not. Yeah, he writes it, but it doesn't
So
help
he's
that the
like J.K.
creator.
Rowling.
No,
because
Like,
no,
didn't know
because
what to
J.K.
come up
Rowling
with?
has a point A to point B. Scott Cawthon is.
She didn't have a point A to point B.
she tried.
She did like the first 4 books and then like realized I need to wrap this up. So let's do it from.
Man, I should really figure out how
I
this
should really
goes.
figure it out. Like right before Goblet of Fire, she was like,
Listen,
I
the-
should really tie it in now.
Listen, the only thing that she
You know what? You're
had-
actually right.
That's
yeah,
what
now
I'm
that-
saying.
There was okay.
I killed
J.K.
Dumbledore.
Rowling-
Crap.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling didn't know what she had.
I
I gotta
until
make
the
Harry
fourth
not
book.
go back to school now.
The only thing that she had down was Snape. That was the only thing that she had down.
No, but
Because early on in the first one, she pulled She pulled the actor who played Snape
Yeah.
aside. I'm forgetting his name right now.
and you're the guy that
Alan-
remembers.
oh.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Why can I not remember that name right now?
Die Hard.
I remember in an interview, he said, first day of shooting, she pulled me into her trailer and she specifically told me the end scene of Snape and his backstory and the fact that he was always in love with Lily Potter
Mhm.
and that he doesn't hate Harry. He's protecting him, but he knows that he can't get close to him. And that's the big secret in Snape. So
Yeah.
that's how to
And
that's how
That
you train
ties
him.
it all the way up until
Beautiful.
the 7th book.
But that's why later
Yeah.
on, when you rewatch those movies,
You see the pain in
you
him.
can see, and you look back at what Snape is doing, and you
Mhm.
hear what he's saying to certain people and how he's protecting Harry.
And
Yeah.
also
And you go,
how he's-
"Oh, he's not threatening him; he's protecting Harry."
But
Can you
also
do me a
he's
favor?
still-
Can you look at the camera, see if it's still recording?
No, stop. I'm joking.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's the camera with Sarah.
No, I knew
That's the
he
whole
was gonna
point.
say something like that, so that's why I was
Yeah, I
like,
keep-
he's gonna say
Oh, he's the Joker. That's right. My bad.
Anyway.
The Joker, baby.
I'm the joke, baby.
No, so going back to the whole point of what Scott Cawthon is doing, right? To be fair, yes, yeah, you're 100%. J.K. Rowling didn't know what she was doing with some of the book plot holes and stuff like that, right? But Scott Cawthon, it doesn't help that his lore is based on what the lore hunters are doing on YouTube, because on multiple occasions, MatPat is a perfect example of this because he's the biggest one, right? I could argue that he could be the biggest one. I don't know if there's he's
made
one of the big he's one of the Mount Rushmore people.
He's made theories, and then all of a sudden they go like, those theories were right.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, what came first?
Well,
your
it doesn't
theory
help
or
that
your
he
story?
theorizes, and then Scott Cawthon climbs on those theories and says like, "Oh, you were actually right," and then the other one is like,
"That's actually a good idea."
No, honestly,
Wrong.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah,
exactly what's happening.
So when it comes down to the lore and certain elements of what you can integrate into this movie, right? This is why I'm saying objectively, it could be good to some people, especially if they've endured years and years and years of just potpourri bags of lore that gets thrown their way. Because if you look at everything that happens throughout the series, none of it connects well. And just recently, the books that have been come out are now considered canon, even though for years they were never really considered canon.
They are canon.
They are canon now, based off of a little excerpt that he included in the new publications of these books.
And another example I can give is how I see this movie going, even if, because I haven't seen it yet, I'm going to see it tomorrow, but I have a feeling based on the audience score alone, this is going to be a Super Mario's of the 2020s.
And that's probably a fair...
You're talking about
the live
Bob
action one.
Hoskins?
It's going to
Talking
be
about
one
Bob
of those
Hoskins?
ones that everyone hates today, and then in 20 years,
Okay, I
people are
thought
going to
it
be
was
like,
No.
that was like a good
No.
movie.
No.
I...
Bob Hoskins' Super Mario
No, no,
Brothers
no.
has charm.
That's what okay, that's
This
what I'm
movie does
getting
not
at.
have that.
It's not gonna be like. Sorry, I meant like, not like Rocky Horror good cult movie.
No, it has Tim Curry. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm correcting
Look,
myself.
Matthew
I meant
Leonard.
like you go
in
back.
2 scenes.
Yeah.
You go back and watch it because it's not good, but you're like, oh,
No,
then it's at
I
Freddy's.
will-
Like you go back and watch Mario, and you're like, oh, Bob
Oh,
Hoskins.
no, I watched that movie, and I'm on board with it until they show Yoshi being an actual
No, but-
velociraptor, and I'm like, nope,
But
not
that's
doing
the
this
thing,
again.
though. I thought it was funny because we were watching the movie, and then we were watching it with my brother, and he was laying on the couch, and then all of a sudden, like as the beginning, like kind of scenes are happening, he then goes, "Matthew Lillard, what's he doing in this movie?"
He's
and then he
such a good actor.
I know, but then he shows up, and then just vanishes from the screen, and then he was like, "4th build, only in the movie for 4 minutes, great." That was like, okay. Like Matthew Lillard by itself could have sold this movie. If Matthew Lillard was the actual security guard dealing with the situation that he's dealing with, this movie would be 100 times more fun.
I think you're just angry because you wanted this movie to be good.
The problem is that for one, I don't think that what's his name, PETA?
Josh Hutcherson.
I don't think he's a great actor.
Really? I like him.
I
You
think Josh.
just broke hearts.
No,
dude.
I think him in the trailers kind of sold me.
I feel like he's fine, but I don't feel like because he's been put in a lot of these like B movies lately.
Well, he's playing.
But
He's
also
playing
he
the
was
same role that he's done in the past like 4 films that he's
but
done.
like future
the guy that's down on his luck, doesn't have a lot going for him in his future and stuff like that.
And he's
Very-
stuck.
But did
yeah.
you watch Future Man?
I did.
Yeah, Future Man was funny.
So good.
Future Man was okay.
It was so.
It was good
It
in the
was
first
so
season,
fun. He's
and then it starts deteriorating.
well. It's funny how you say he's in B movies because I think that's what he's good at, and and that's like a compliment.
Mhm.
Like he's a really good actor, but he excels in like B movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll agree. He is. But the thing is that I had no buy-in for him.
Sure.
I wanted a Matthew Lillard. I wanted this like fun character.
He's not
that I can
attracted to
jump
him.
in.
That's the point.
No, but the thing is that I just, in all fairness, there's a lot of scenes where there's like very like I'm trying to be very serious, and there was no, I didn't have a lot of buy-in for it. Where I was just like, let's just move on to the next scene. Let's get moving, because him trying to be this like, he's really good in Future Man because he has a lot of comedy that comes with Future Man. There's a lot of like back and forth, and also I do feel that the two people from the future really carry him through that movie.
To
through that show.
defend-
They do. They're
They're
both amazing.
To
those two are. I feel like they're better
Wolf
than Josh.
It's Wolf. What's
Wolf,
it?
and I
the-
forget the other one.
I
But
remember
but
it.
the thing is that those two really carry him through Future Man. I
Mhm.
feel like the episodes where they're not in it as much
Sure.
are the weaker episodes.
To defend Josh Hutcherson for a second, could it
How
be
dare
that?
you.
Huh?
How dare you?
Why? He's a
I'm just playing.
dude.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's decent.
What do you have? You have a problem with him?
Yeah, go.
If you have a problem with him, you can speak into the mic and call him out.
Yeah, he's
Yeah. All right. I'll email him.
terrible.
And be like, you want to be on the show? We have someone. We have the Joker here who
It's
doesn't like you.
terrible.
How dare you?
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker.
To defend him, right? I'm feeling that maybe part of his acting wasn't good. I've yet to see it, so I'm going to assume this, right?
It's very difficult because we can't tell you why it's bad, but yes,
Okay.
it's bad.
To be fair, how do you portray a character that one doesn't have a face and two doesn't have a solid foundation, because we still to this day don't know who is playing the security guard in multiple Five Nights at Freddy's games.
You can assume.
They're all
but
different security. things.
Exactly.
And the movie is not canon. The movie is its own universe.
Oh, it's not canon now.
No. It's been explicitly said that the movie.
Who
it's
said
like
this?
Scott Cawthon.
Oh, then it'll be canon in like 10 years.
I'm
That's what I was gonna
I'm
say.
positive that the movie it's one universe.
And then Scott
of
Cawthon
story.
Then
will
he
appear
starts
in your
doing
closet and
multiverse
be like, Sarah,
in Five
remember
Nights
that
at
time you
Freddy's.
said this movie wasn't canon? Guess what?
Okay, well, you
the-
want
the-
spoiler alert for the games. Mike in the games, it's well talked about and well known and assumed that he's the son of William Afton.
Yeah, they.
They didn't. I know they
yeah,
didn't do that
Yeah,
in the
no,
book.
they do
Because-
something else.
Or
did
maybe they
something
did. I
else.
don't
They do something else.
They do something else that's very dumb.
know. Okay, but I'm
It's
just
very
saying,
dumb.
like, there's
It's
no
very
way.
silly.
I know that the movie is supposed to be 1 through 4 of the games,
So-
and they totally change a lot. That's why it's its own separate thing.
So when Mandy told me about, because Mandy's a big fan of the game, she told me that the security guard is connected to William
Afton.
I completely hated that. I hate when you have
If
to
you-
connect.
but
No,
if
no,
you
no,
know
no,
the
no.
law-
But in a storytelling aspect, I hate connecting characters that they have to be connected through a relative aspect.
not only
That's
that-
the entire
to me,
series.
but that to me,
but
that's very
also
lazy
I
writing.
feel, but also
in my
I
opinion.
feel
I
like
don't
that
disagree
defeats
with
the
you.
argument, though. You automatically defeated that. He automatically defeated his own argument, though. Why do I have to? You made all this lore, and you made it super bloated and everything else, and then you went, well, all this lore doesn't matter because it's something totally different, and then you then re-bloated it
Well, that's
with
how-
your own new lore that
that's-
doesn't make any
That's
sense.
Scott Cawthon.
That is because
So-
did you?
Amateur writing.
So that's so what I'm
Did you-
hearing
So
is we're just supposed to
he's
accept that.
He's an indie game developer that he tried to make a bunch of games that weren't successful, took all the feedback and made a horror game because the feedback for his old games were these look like horror characters in like a franchise or something. So he made Five Nights at Freddy's to kind of use their feedback, and then he built a story from there, and it's bad.
To be fair,
but hold on, but I understand that, but just because he's a bad writer, I feel like doesn't give it like carte blanche to do it.
no.
But
I don't
it
think that's
ki-
what Sarah's saying.
But
It's-
not only that, but also, I mean, when you go into Invincible, like same thing. Invincible is a comic book that was then adapted into a cartoon,
It's not the same thing.
but it is the same thing because Invincible is bloated. There's a lot of stuff that you can cut out of Invincible, a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense, and there's a lot of things in Invincible that you're just kind of like, why is this here? I don't understand it. And even Robert Kirkman has said, I wasn't sure what I was writing. I was new. I was a new comic book writer. I wrote a lot of this, and I don't agree with what I wrote. And I made it over bloated, and I didn't like it. So when he went to the actual show and they gave him a show, he then went, cool, I'm going to strip all the bloat. I'm going to strip out everything else. I'm going to make it a coherent story, and I'm going to make it better. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of what he did for the show. He very much the show
He
is
made the narrative smoother.
he made the narrative smoother, he made it more coherent, and he made the characters way more three-dimensional.
Can you look up who wrote Five Nights at Freddy's, please? The movie.
It was
Oh.
Sam Coffert. He did because I
Scott
remember.
Kaufman.
Yeah,
It was?
'cause-
Okay.
Yeah,
He had a
So
big part in the
he was a
story.
co-writer.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because this is the expectation that I'm going in with this expectation, right? I know that this movie won't have the best plot because a lot of the aspects of the game lore don't make any sense. And yes, to a degree, it is very lazy writing. Did you see Matt Pat's last video?
I've seen everything.
You've seen the last one, right?
I've seen
So there was a part where he talks about how there's someone else behind the scenes that was working with William Afton that originally did the animatronics. But this stuff wasn't mentioned until
Henry
like
and Emily.
that's it. So he's adding elements to this story as he keeps going that continue to make the story bloated. So yes, to a degree, it is Robert Kirkman Invincible, where he's over bloating everything. But to a point, if the criticism is this movie is bad and it will be bad and there's no way you can enjoy it, I don't think that's a fair criticism, because there will be some people that are going to go into this movie. And again, this is where the subjectivity comes in, right? There'll be some people that'll go into this movie and adore what is in front of them because they really like the FNAF lore, right? Even if the movie is bad. I go back to Need for Speed. It is a story that makes no sense, but I adore this movie. I actually really like Need for Speed. My love for Fast and Furious is the same. The story for the franchise doesn't make any sense.
You're like, what's happening?
He literally defended the Catholic Church in 10 with like there was no reason for that, but that's like a main center point that they keep advertising for Fast 10. But you have the subjectivity of people loving certain aspects of story because they understand what's going on. And so maybe, right, the story will not be appealing to a large majority of people, and in no way will a film student look at this and be like, that's what I'm going to do for an indie project. Because it is an overbloated movie. It is an overbloated story. But I think that you can subjectively like it. And again, if you look at the Rotten Tomato scores, we go back to the fact that it's not something that you can trust. You kind of have to watch this movie and put your own opinion to it.
And then just real quick, as like a going off of what you said, when you look at the games at face value, just what you're presented with in each game, a lot of the lore is not in the games. It's what the communities have created. A lot of it's not confirmed. A lot of it's assuming character names that you see, like the crying child with the striped shirt and the pixelated thing. No one knows his actual name. Scott's never confirmed anything. It's the reason why these games are so beloved and why I love them so much is because it's a community-based theorizing endeavor that's been going on for 10 years, and that's why I'm so enthralled and in love with the lore, and I'm a closeted fan because I'm not wearing like Five Nights at Freddy's merch and stuff, but I love hearing people's takes on the story with so little that we're given. Random names on gravestones, random things in books and here and there, and people are trying to piece them together, hence the 9-hour video I watched like 2 days ago. It's a community-based thing, and the movie being its own universe, it's not lazy writing. It's Scott Cawthon. Maybe this is, I don't think it's what he intended with the first games, but it's just a version of his games that he's putting onto film that I'm assuming he feels good about, but still we don't know the plot of the games.
But the thing is that here's my thing. I agree with the reason why the community has grown so much is because there is so much that's not explained. There's so much that's shown but not told. The problem with this movie is there's a lot of told and not shown.
Could it be
it's
that
the reverse, where I see a specific name tag, I then spend 20 minutes to explain what this is.
So then you just said,
interesting.
Nick,
I'm so excited to watch it.
Nick,
oh my god.
You just said the screenwriter's biggest first mistake. Because if Scott Cawthon co-wrote this, that explains why this story doesn't work. Because as a screenwriter if you're barely starting screenwriting, right? You have no experience with it. The number one mistake that most people do is they don't show, they tell.
Yes.
So it could be that again.
And that's what bloats the movie.
There it is. So if that's the case, then that's an objective mistake.
But that's the thing though, is that because if it was just we're going to show you things and we're not going to explain them, and it's going to be a mystery, and it's going to be all these other things, and you're kind of going like, okay, cool. And then you can kind of come up with your own theories at the end of the movie and go like, well, what does it mean? Oh, well, I think it's this. I think he was trying to say this. Oh, I think that what's happening is this thing. That's awesome. That's a very cool movie. I really enjoy that because it gets the audience thinking. This movie doesn't do that.
It seems like he's doing an overcorrection.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
He overcorrected, and he tried to then go, cool, this is our villain. we're gonna have a villain in this movie. I don't know if you know who the villain is in the movie.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know who the villain is?
I can kind of assume, but it probably I'm not right.
What do you think it is?
I think
don't
it's-
want it spoiled, but I
just want to know what you think it is.
I know it's games 1 through 4. I know who the villain is. I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil it based on your reaction.
That's actually pretty smart because but you know what? You do have a good Joker face.
Yeah.
Not because of the face paint, but because you do have a good poker face.
What do you think? What do you think without knowing anything? Without knowing.
Don't look at him. I'm not looking at him right now. I think because I'm going to jump straight into another topic or continuation of it, but so that way he doesn't give a face. I think the villain of this movie is the spirit of the spirit that's holding on to Golden Freddy. That's it. I'm going to say this. Transitioning out of that. I'm not looking at your face because I don't want anything to be spoiled on that
I
one.
kind of want to know what Sarah, because I saw her reaction and I kind of want to know what she thinks it is.
Okay. So do you want to say yours or no?
No.
No? Okay. That's fair enough.
Because going off of what you said, it's so complicated.
Yeah, I can imagine. I just went for a simple.
Hence my this. It's complicated.
Yeah. It's honestly very not. It's
Okay.
really
Well,
not.
let's leave it
In
at
the
that.
games it is.
We'll leave it at
that's
that.
the games.
We'll leave it at that.
I'm talking about this movie.
I'm going to ask this question to both of you guys then, as people who saw this movie. Do you feel like if it was a different writer and not Scott Cawthon taking hold of the screenplay, do you think that this movie could have been better?
No.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Critically, and filmmaking wise, yes. Fan wise, no.
And that's
I feel the reason why I feel like it could be is because I feel like sometimes when you have a creator working on his own things, he gets in his own head about what makes his creation so good.
But you don't understand the toxicity
No.
that is this fan base.
No, but no, and
But then
and
that's almost every fan.
that's every fan
But
base. That's like
specifically-
going like, oh, Star Wars fans are toxic. Yeah, we know.
No. It's specifically.
We enjoy it.
It's
DC
specifically,
fans are toxic.
DC fans, Marvel fans, we're
it's
all bad.
Specifically, the Scott Cawthon of it all, the YouTube Matt Pat of it all.
But that's the problem, though, is I feel like he needed to be. He is not the creator of One Piece, where I can be objectively
This
okay with
isn't-
walking.
This isn't one.
No. No, but arguably it is, because One Piece is also extremely bloated with an actual storyline that moderately doesn't make sense. And it has like a through line that's going on and goes on, and then eventually it connects. And then it goes, oh yeah, that one thing that we talked about like 120 episodes ago, this is what we used it for. And it's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But the creator was able to objectively look at the movie, look at his creation and go, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this.
so he can brotherhood it.
He can very much kind of go into it and rip it
He
apart
can Kai it.
and allow people
Dragon Ball Kai.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of going like, we need to take this stuff out. And then go, okay, cool. I can allow other people who are fans to then have their stake in it, in which automatically is kind of what the community is all about, where it's they're coming up with their own theories, they're coming up with their own things. And I feel like it would have been a more altruistic and more authentic take, whereas this one just feels like a cash grab. It really does feel like, man, I really needed to pay off that Lamborghini.
We could argue about this for another hour or
Yeah,
so.
I'm really over it.
Yeah.
to be honest. Like, I'm so-
We can,
I'm
'cause
tired of the back and forth.
I'm
I'm tired of saying like I don't like it. Well, maybe it's not that bad if you really. Then I'm saying, well, it's this bad. Well, maybe it's
Listen,
not that.
I'm trying. I've been trying to reel this in, but it's like
for 20 minutes now. Like,
I've been trying to reel it back.
going. Come on.
If only the other half of the table would have watched it.
What's that? What is that? I know. It's like, what the heck, dude?
No. Keep going. Move on. Move forward, please.
It's the end of the
I'm done. Keep going.
Oh man! And then when I take reins, it's all of a sudden just like, don't do it. Okay, fine. Well, that's it. That's pretty much the end of the show.
Yes.
Sarah and I are going to be watching it over the weekend. We'll probably have a different take on it. You can follow her on her Instagram, see if she posts anything about it, and see if she likes it. Me,
It sucks.
you know what? Nick and Rene were right. It's terrible.
I'm just kidding.
No, you never know. Just follow us on our socials. That way you guys know individual opinions afterwards. But yeah, that about does it for this show. We did have another topic. I mean, Spider-Man 2 did come out, but I feel like people that are interested in playing it or have been wanting to play it, they already know. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. There's a moment in the game where it's literally in the first hour where you go like, oh, do you remember Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 or 2? In after his when he has to redo everything. Who wrote that?
With Nick Spencer?
Nick Spencer. Yeah. Nick Spencer's run.
Oh,
it's
something like that?
So remember how you read the first 5 issues and you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like redoing a lot of stuff, going back to basics.
Not back to basics, but it's that good writing.
Okay.
Where you're just kind of like, they know what they're doing.
Okay.
They got it. It's good. But that about does it for this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds. Guys, what did you guys think of the FNAF movie? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, and every other social we have. Check out our YouTube channel at Keeping Up with the Nerds. And yeah, that way you guys can see the actual video format that we have here, and you guys can see whatever we're wearing or any bits, because trust me, whatever we're wearing, but also the bits like Rene and Nick trying to take the not the like the whole gauntlet situation that you guys are stuck in. And don't forget to check out our friend of the show, Sarah Heck's socials. Everything will be in the description. Please go follow, please go support, go comment on her photos, on her videos, on her reels, everything. Let her know what you guys think of everything she's been working on.
Say pee pee poo poo, and I'll know you came from here.
Say all of a sudden, all the pee pee poo poos there. Someone comes out and like poo poo pee pee. Dang it, that wasn't us. That's not them. But that about does it. And just as like we started on this issue, Sarah, why don't you take us out? Are you ready?
She doesn't take out the gun.
Yeah.
Guys, plot twist. No!
This is Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 171. My name is Sarah Heck, and... Oh, crap. And?
Nick.
Rene.
Bryan.
They did it. Yay. Signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you next time.
This is
Bye-bye.
a cry for help.
Say bye!
Ah!
Say bye!
Bye.
Say bye!